Hey guys, let's explore some stories that are shaping what builders are doing across Bitcoin, the internet computer, and the wider AI powered development scene. Before we get into it, a quick note for those who have asked about supporting this channel. If you would like to help keep Ledger Life running, you can send a small donation using the details in the description. It genuinely helps with research, editing, and the hours spent pulling these stories together. Now, back to the updates. Each story highlights a different angle, from infrastructure shifts to new tools, fresh upgrades, and unexpected creator experiments. All of them point to how fast things are moving when you give developers the right foundations. The first story centers on RateSwap and its move under the broader Omnity Bitcoin dApps banner. Instead of keeping projects scattered across separate brands, Omnity is pulling everything together under one identity. It's a branding shift on the surface, but the motivation goes deeper. It's about giving users a single place to understand what the team is building and where they are heading. Omnity has spent close to 2 years building tools that push Bitcoin far beyond its original design. They are behind Omnity Hub, which focuses on interoperability directly on chain, and which acts as a Bitcoin native execution layer. These aren't side projects. They have already found their way into several Bitcoin layer 2 platforms and dApps, and Omnity claims its stack has helped secure more than $500 million in total value across supported systems. RateSwap itself has played an important role in this arc. It was Omnity's first DeFi product and introduced an automated market maker specifically for drones that is running entirely on Bitcoin Layer 1. The ability to trade without bridging, wrapping, or passing assets through an intermediary attracted builders watching Bitcoin's new wave of applications. Trades settle in a few seconds, which is fast for a chain not known for flexibility. Now that Omnity wants a unified home for every tool they release, they are bringing RichSwap X under the wider Omnity Bitcoin dApps brand. Supporters believe the change makes sense because the ecosystem around Bitcoin is growing quickly. New projects appear daily, and teams often struggle to maintain visibility when each product has separate channels. By shifting everything into one recognizable identity, Omnity hopes to make it easier for users to follow updates, understand the roadmap, and see how each tool connects. There are two sides to how the move is being viewed. Supporters say Omnity's infrastructure first approach is exactly what Bitcoin needs. They argue that experimentation on Bitcoin only works when the foundational layers can actually support it. Others point out that competition in Bitcoin's DeFi space is picking up speed. If the long term goal is adoption, performance has to remain steady even when volumes spike. Users expect reliability, and that's one challenge every Bitcoin focused project is trying to solve. Rich Swap isn't going anywhere, it stays as part of the product suite. But the new Omnity Bitcoin dApp's identity becomes the communication front for everything built on the network. In practice, that means fewer scattered announcements and more clarity about where each application fits within the broader picture. Next up is Juno, which has shipped an upgrade to how developers register custom domains for hosted projects. On the surface, this might sound like a small change, but for teams shipping production apps, domain routing is one of those things that needs to work cleanly without effort. When it fails or slows down, the impact is immediate. Juno's new API simplifies the entire process. The team says it's quicker, more dependable, and flexible enough for future improvements. In practice, that means fewer delays when linking domains, fewer cases of broken routing, and a smoother experience for developers running commercial apps on the internet computer. Juno has been refining its hosting stack for some time. Anyone following the platform will recognize this update as part of a wider push to make deployment feel more predictable. Domain issues aren't new in the ecosystem, and builders usually remember when a platform makes this area easier. Faster domain propagation and fewer routing headaches tend to give teams more confidence when scaling their apps. The Definity Boundary Nodes team gets a mention here, credited for their role in enabling a smoother integration on the network side. While the announcement is positive, some developers will want to see how it performs under pressure. Improvements always look sharp at launch, but real world usage is the real test. When people start deploying during busy periods or migrating between versions, stability becomes obvious very quickly. Early reactions from the community have been encouraging. Developers are saying the upgrade cuts down friction and removes one of the more tedious parts of running production apps. Hosting tools are playing a bigger role across the internet computer ecosystem, and Juno's move fits into that broader trend of polishing the basics so teams can focus on building rather than fixing. The third story shifts to icRamp, which just outlined a major update to its peer to peer on and off ramp. The platform runs on the internet computer and focuses on low fee, wallet to wallet settlements across chains without going through centralized exchanges. The new update introduces liquidity tools that change how orders behave. Instead of a static listing, users can top up liquidity or complete partial fills. That required a backend redesign and a new order flow that gives both rampers and buyers more flexibility. For anyone using P2P ramps frequently, those improvements matter. They directly affect how fast deals settle and how often an order can be completed. Another upgrade comes to icRamp's EVM integration. After our contract refactor, gas usage was cut by half. That means cheaper transactions and lower operational cost for the platform itself. Reduced RPC funding requirements should also improve stability and responsiveness when volumes grow. The update also introduces support for Stripe. Rampers can now create Stripe accounts, connect them directly through an onboarding flow, and receive payments immediately. Pay with crypto is another new pathway. Buyers can specify the chain and asset they want to receive, adding flexibility for those who prefer direct chain payments. Combined with PayPal and crypto settlement across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and ICP, the platform now supports a wide range of options. All of this runs on deterministic canisters, multi chain listeners, chain specific validators, and integrations with Bitcoin and Solana. The team highlights how IC Alloy and RPC VM contributed to the wider implementation. The demonstration released with the update walks through the entire journey, from setting up accounts to connecting payment providers, linking blockchain addresses, creating orders, and confirming transactions. Anyone watching the demo can see how the front end flow connects to the logic behind the scenes. From a broader perspective, this upgrade lands at a time when conversations around P2P liquidity are becoming more active. Some traders argue that direct settlement is safer and more transparent than centralized alternatives. Critics bring up user responsibility and the need for safeguards when platforms remove intermediaries. ICRamp's update doesn't solve every concern, but it moves the product into a more mature stage with better tools and more flexibility. Fourth Space has entered the spotlight as a new all in one workspace built with Caffeine AI on the internet computer. The concept of a single workspace that handles notes, tasks, chat, payments, and crypto isn't new, but few attempts have managed to deliver the entire stack cleanly. Fourth Space is trying to change that. The app treats itself as a complete environment rather than a set of patched together tools. Nodes sit next to project boards, team chat links directly to tasks, payments and payroll fit within the same space. Multi chain wallets integrate into project workflows. Everything is end to end encrypted. The appeal is straightforward. Teams juggling Notion, Slack, Asana, Google Drive, payroll software, and several wallet dashboards can consolidate their tools into one place. Where Fourth Space tries to stand out as real time collaboration. Team members can edit documents live, track project updates instantly, and keep conversations tied to the specific task or document they relate to. With remote collaboration increasingly normal, those features have become essential rather than optional. Automation is another central pillar. The no code engine lets users link actions across modules. A completed task might auto trigger an invoice, send a payment into escrow, or notify a whole team. If it works as intended, it can cut a large amount of manual admin for freelancers, agencies, or distributed teams. Then there is the AI layer. Fourth space lets users switch between different AI models depending on the activity, whether it's generating reports, reviewing on chain data, forecasting budgets, or developing code. The flexibility gives teams the power to pick the model suited for each task. Financial tools are built directly into the workspace. Payroll, compliant escrow, milestone based contracts, and multi chain wallet management sit within the same system. Our unified dashboard shows spending patterns, transaction analytics, and AI based anomaly detection. For groups dealing with digital assets, that visibility can be a major advantage. The market will ultimately judge fourth space on reliability and how smoothly it performs under pressure. But early reactions in the ICP community have been positive. The project benefits from its caffeine foundation and ICP wide quarters development focus. If it proves stable and easy to scale, it could appeal to organizations wanting to reduce the number of tools they rely on. The final story is lighter but still meaningful. A creator called Abbas Space has shared an early preview of a physics sandbox game that is built entirely with Caffeine AI. The interesting part isn't the graphics or complexity. It's that the creator built the prototype without any coding background. The game lets players test elements, physics reactions, and small interactions inside a simple environment. The creator says more features are planned, including new elements, a challenge mod, a gallery, and an NFT snapshot tool so players can save moments from the sandbox. The community reaction has been mixed but constructive. Supporters see it as an example of how AI powered tools are helping people build functional prototypes without needing traditional programming skills. Others raise fair questions about maintainability, performance, and ownership when the base logic is generated through AI rather than written manually. Caffeine AI itself has been gaining momentum among small builders on the internet computer. For people with ideas but little technical experience, being able to ship a prototype quickly is a strong draw. This sandbox game might not be a large scale release, but it shows what's possible when the barrier to development drops. The creator has already begun working on improvements, and the shared link gives anyone the chance to test the live version. As with many early AI assisted builds, the game's direction will depend on user feedback and how easily new features can be added. These five stories show different aspects of how development is changing. Infrastructure teams are refining the core building blocks. Platforms are reducing complexity for developers. Peer to peer systems are gaining new tools. Workspace apps are merging entire workflows. And independent creators are using AI to build projects that weren't accessible to them before. Whether these ideas scale or evolve into something larger will depend on how they perform over time. But together, they point to a future where building, experimenting, and shipping becomes faster for more people across more ecosystems. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for next one.